Welcome into 5 Wide Fantasy presented by OwnersBox. Today's video, we've got some wide receiver 4s. No, we've got some wide receiver 1s.
Yeah, we got wide receiver 1s.
As wide receiver 4s. So these are some guys with some high upside. Yeah, we talked running backs just yesterday on Sunday. If you guys haven't checked that video out, go check it out. But the wide receiver position is very, very different compared to running back. If you look at guys that were drafted in around this situation and then ended the season as a top 12 option. Last year, those guys were Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, and Jalen Waddle. So I said to Ryan, I'm like, this might be a little bit harder for us to explain how exactly we're going to find guys that get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are Deebo's a special case. You know, he has a similar role to a guy like Cordarrelle Patterson in this 49ers offense. There's not too many guys like that in the NFL. And then, I mean, Jamar Chase was kind of an anomaly. We saw a lot of reports about him not even be able to do stuff in training camp, and we all saw him play at LSU. You know, I don't know what type of smokescreen that was. But,
yeah.
And then Jalen Waddle, too, is a tough one because I don't really, I'm not a huge Tua guy, but
it's talent.
Obviously,
at the end of the day, this is about wide receiver position is more just about talent.
Yeah, skill level talent.
We talked about running back being James Conner and Leonard Fournette were the guys that did it last year. Do I think they're top 12 talents at the position?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But do I think Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, and arguably maybe Jalen Waddle are top 12 talents at their position? Yeah,
there's arguments for them for sure.
I think I do. Again, if you guys enjoy the video, if you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. If you've been circling back and watching these videos from OwnersBox and you haven't subscribed yet, we would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and drop a like on the video. I think I don't want to do the boss man like this, but I think that people need a giveaway soon. We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to do a giveaway. I mean, we're gonna hit the connects. You know, maybe get a Jags uni for some people out there.
We don't talk about that anymore. Okay, let's get into these players. So we got 4 today. We'll run through these guys relatively quick.
Yeah. So my first guy is Juju Smith-Schuster, a guy who has been in wide receiver 1 territory in the past when he's actually healthy. And he now has the best quarterback at his disposal in Patrick Mahomes, right? And you got to look at this guy being the full replacement for Tyreek Hill. So where you look at Tyreek Hill's finishes over fantasy over the last 4 or 5 years, he was a wide receiver 2 in 2020, wide receiver 3 in 2018. Juju has a great shot at being Mahomes' guy. And when Juju was healthy, you look at the 2018 season, he was wide receiver 8. And in 2020, when he was more or less healthy as well, he finished as a wide receiver 14. And although he's filling in for Hill, he's a different receiver. He lines up in the slot, sure, like Hill does, and he was spread out all over the field really in this offense. But Juju's bigger, 6'1" compared to 5'10", 215, 220 pounds. I think Mahomes will be able to utilize him better, to be honest. If you look at yards after the catch, which is what Tyreek Hill's really named to the game was, in 2018, Juju led all receivers in yards after catch. He had 100 more than Tyreek Hill. So I think Juju's going to fit in perfect in this offense. The last thing I'll talk about, too, is red zone targets. Tyreek Hill had 25 red zone targets last year. At his size, whether they're behind the line of scrimmage or in that slot position, Juju's going to be in that same area, except he has the size advantage. The one season where Juju had 25-plus red zone targets was in 2018 when he finished as a wide receiver 8. So if he's getting the same volume as Tyreek Hill, there's no telling why he can't be a wide receiver 1, especially with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. So
yeah, I guess I got shocked by the yards after the catch, but I think his average depth of target was 3 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Big Ben check down king, but still.
Yeah.
I think there's great value here. I think he's definitely a guy you should be looking at as someone to obviously take advantage of his ADP. Don't take him where wide receiver 1s are going. Obviously,
agreed.
Play to the rest of the what everyone else is taking him at. And then you're just going to get great value on him by the end of the season. So
yeah, there's a lot to be excited about in terms of value the Chiefs can give you this year. Sky Moore's been sticking out in camp too, so I think Juju makes a lot of sense as someone that can do it because he's, like you said, he's done it in the past. So
and they've wanted him in this offense. They wanted him last year, they couldn't get him. I think they're going to do really special things with Andy Reid and Mahomes.
I got 2 guys here that I think are going to be beating the drum on for the next 4 weeks. I've already talked about one of these guys, so let's go to him first. Kadarius Toney. I think Kadarius Toney is a ridiculous talent that proved it. I'm going with the Deebo Samuel type comparison with this guy because he is a tackle breaker to a degree that not many players can in the NFL. He had the most missed tackles forced per reception in the NFL last year. The 3 players that led this category in terms of missed tackles forced, guess who they were? Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel. So this is a stat that comes from some of the best players in the league, putting together big numbers in this kind of spot. And then last year when he was on the field, he was fantastic in terms of being able to garner targets and looks from his quarterback. Now, this offense was terrible. I'll get to that in a second, but his 28.9% target rate was 7th in the NFL. His yards per route run was 2.13, which was 17th in the NFL. And this guy is being drafted as the wide receiver 50.
Yeah, that's
50
crazy.
In an improved offense where we're not going to have to worry about that absolute fucking moron. I can't believe Joe Judge is actually in competition to be the Patriots offensive coordinator this year. Makes no sense. The dude's an idiot. He was 8th in yards after the catch per reception, and his ADOT was like 6 yards. This guy could have been even better with the opportunity he had last year. He could have been even more explosive. He could have made even more big plays. Now Brian Daboll's in here, and I think the Giants offense is going to step up in a big, big way. So I'm really excited about Kadarius Toney. In the 10th round, I'm absolutely smashing that button, and I'm probably going to be making sure I get him in every league that I can, and I'll overdraft him. Like, I'll take him earlier than his ADP because I love this guy because of his talent and what Brian Daboll can do with him. So I'm excited about Toney.
Yeah, I really like a lot of players in this offense. Well, maybe not a lot, a few players in this Giants offense this year, mainly on Brian Daboll. Like, he completely turned this Bills offense into an absolute juggernaut. Yeah. Obviously, you have Josh Allen, Daniel Jones. The athleticism is different, but Daniel Jones is more of an athletic guy than people probably give him credit for. And I think Kadarius Toney is a guy that will definitely have a lot of volume because Brian Daboll loves those skill position guys that can just do a lot of things, and Kadarius Toney is that guy. So.
Yeah, I'm excited about Toney. Really excited.
This guy, I think it's crazy actually. Now that I look at it a little deeper, that he's the wide receiver 46, and that's Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard is most likely going to be Aaron Rodgers' number one target this year, and as Aaron Rodgers' number one target, you see a lot of volume, and you're just a fantasy producer. Davante Adams, 2021, finished as a wide receiver 2. 2020, wide receiver 1. 2018, wide receiver 3. Even going back to 2017, which either was his rookie season or the year before. I think year before, actually.
Yeah, you can even go back to the Jordan Nelson years.
Exactly.
Right?
Wide receiver 14. So Rodgers has chemistry built with no one else really on this offense other than maybe Bob Tonyan and Randall Cobb, but Allen Lazard has been mentioned even by Aaron Rodgers. He's the number one guy, and he has all the opportunity in the world. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, according to Aaron Rodgers. A little clap back at Davante Adams. The interesting thing that I did find, though, about these two guys, so over the last 3 seasons, Rodgers has ranked 13th, 8th, and 13th in pass attempts between 0 and 9 yards from the line of scrimmage. Over that same time span, Lazard has ranked 7th, 1st, and 25th in yards per out in this area of the field as well. Mm-hmm. So the red zone targets were there for Davante Adams last year, 31. Those could easily go to Allen Lazard. Maybe not all of them, but if he gets a portion of them, that's huge. Mm-hmm. He's 6'5", so a similar build as Davante Adams, if not a little bit taller. I think he's going to be money in the red zone this year. And we saw last year at the end of the year, Lazard finished as the wide receiver 8 in the last 5 weeks of the season in PPR leagues. Without Davante Adams, this could be a massive leap for Allen Lazard. I'm not saying he's going to finish as a wide receiver 1, but wide receiver 1, like wide receiver number 1.
Yes.
But finishing as a wide receiver 1, very viable. Very, very viable. At wide receiver 46. Listen, Christian Watson isn't practicing right now. There's a lot of unknown with the rest of the receivers in this kind of depth chart right now. I think he's the safest option and a guy that will definitely help you. He could be your wide receiver 2 or 3 by week 2, I bet. So,
yeah. I'm still. Like you said, I think that the number will adjust with him because if you're paying attention to camp, there's really no one else. I mentioned Randall Cobb in our previous video because they're just the rookies. Romeo Dubes has looked good, but I'd be shocked if he guarantees himself a significant role early in the season because I think Watson is a guy that they'd probably rather feature. But Lazard seems like a really safe bet at his ADP, and he's going to need to score touchdowns to make it happen to be able to be a wide receiver 1, a top 12 wide receiver, but who knows? Last one I have is a guy that, if you guys have been watching the channel all off season, you guys know that Draymond Burks was my number one wide receiver in Dynasty Fantasy Football, my number 1 pick in your rookie drafts. Now, Draymond Burks, obviously the asthma issue is, honestly, it's starting to make me feel like it's probably a simple mindset. A lot of people have probably said this to you, is that we're getting the same blanket thrown over our heads that we did with Jamar Chase with Draymond Burks because of these, one with drops, the other with asthma. The deal here with Draymond Burks is that he's set to take over A.J. Brown's role. And I think he can, like his profile from college tells me he can do that. He had a 30% target share in his last season at Arkansas. Scored 11 touchdowns. The stats are down there at the bottom for you guys. You can see them. He's a monster. He's a guy that for Arkansas, everybody on the field would know where the ball is going to, and this guy would still make plays because he's super physical, great size, can get up and get the ball with just about anyone. Like reminds me of Mike Williams in terms of his ability to like get to the high point and catch the ball at the top.
Definitely.
And then his physicality reminds me of A.J. Brown because he's a very physical runner and a guy that can pick up plenty of yards after the catch. A.J. Brown had 110 targets in 13 games last year.
That's wild.
The other options for this offense are a 30-year-old Robert Woods, who's coming off an ACL injury, is still yet to practice, and Nick Westbrook-Akine. And Des Fitzpatrick, who has probably played for 4 NFL teams already, and this is his sophomore season. Nobody wants the guy. So there's no one else. Like, yeah, they're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry maybe 400 times this year, but quite frankly, Ryan Tannehill has still proven to be a plenty efficient passer in this league, and I think can get it done with Draymond Burks. And Burks is going right now in the 9th round, near the end of the 9th round, as the wide receiver 37. And I think he's mega talented, and I think he can be a top 12 wide receiver just the way we've seen A.J. Brown be able to put those types of numbers. So I like Draymond Burks a lot. I think there's a chance this guy could make a lot of people look stupid by the time the end of the year comes.
Yeah, I mean, just go watch some of his camp videos. Like, it's obviously a small sample size, but he's dominated any corner that they put on him. He's super physical, like T-Mac said.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing here is making sure that passing offense stays as efficient as we've seen it be in the past with A.J. Brown there. And Julio obviously not a guy that reflects that same kind of numbers as A.J. Brown, but I really do think Draymond Burks could be the number 1 rookie receiver this year in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean he has the what's the word I'm looking for? Like he has all these vacated targets to come into, and the role that he could have is so clear cut compared to a Garrett Wilson, compared to who else we're missing of rookies? A Chris Olave.
Yeah, and then you have the hurt guys like Jamison Williams. Like obviously he won't really play much. Drake London, like he has the best quarterback situation I think at this point.
Yes,
right?
yeah. And Drake London is another one that's competing with Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no competition here. This could be that easy. Like when I bet on sports and I see the Packers are 3-point favorites against the Bears on the road. I'm like, this is free. This is easy. Those never are. Yeah. This could just be that easy.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I'm in on Draymond Burks after not being in on him early. The asthma scared me off, but
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
They got on the field. Draymond Burks got on the field. I watched him. He's awesome.
The whole site thing last year with Jamar Chase kind of threw me for a loop as well, but I didn't believe it as much because I knew he was a top tier receiver. Yeah. And look what happened. So, have some faith in Draymond Burks. Don't believe what all the media is spewing out there.
Exactly. When they get on the field, if they're good, they're good. And I think it's going to be good. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'd love and appreciate if you do. Join our Discord as well. That link is down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.